Hey guys, Archetype of the Beyond here. Today we have a trip report coming from Ian_M off of Arrowwood. His body weight was 80 kilograms at the time, and this is off of 25I and 25B NBOMe, and I hope you enjoy. The following describes a bad experience I had with NBOMes during my mid-teens. When I was 15, I was friends with the type of people who used to like and sell drugs, one of which gave me 2 tabs of NBOMes, which I then decided to take in my room at around 9 p.m. I'd made some preparations beforehand, such as filling empty bottles with water in case I got thirsty. I had zero intention of walking downstairs to my kitchen for a glass of water whilst tripping on what was effectively acid, and also turning on lava lamps and laser lights in my room to increase the effect. Around 9 o'clock, I put both tabs under my gum as the dealer instructed. I didn't feel anything immediately other than an unpleasant chemical taste. After being on my iPad for around half an hour, it started to kick in. I put down my iPad and stared into my carpet. My carpet was green and had very small knots on it. As I stared into it, the knots that it was made out of seemed to climb over each other, as one knot disappeared into the carpet and another one climbed over it as it sank. I found the effect quite incredible, as I'd never done a drug like this before. However, as I enjoyed watching the knots of my green carpet climb and roll over each other, they soon morphed into miniature creatures. They were a darker green and had between 6 and 8 legs that crawled over each other. It looked as if the floor of my bedroom was an inch thick and disgusting insects. It was at this point where it continued downhill. I tried escaping my floor into my bed, but as I pulled back the duvet, I saw an infestation of bugs beneath it, all seeming to separate because of the shock of pulling back my duvet. I tried to calm myself down by singing a song I knew that I believe is by Pink Floyd. However, I sang the same 4-noted riff over and over repeatedly whilst being very anxious about calming myself down and the fact that it clearly didn't work. Despite my attempts, the bugs were all over. Therefore, as any right-minded person would do, I made my way back to the shower to get the imaginary bugs off of me. When I tried to get in the shower, it looked as if the walls were also infested with huge black insects. Whether or not you're scared of bugs, I myself wasn't, and however unscary the idea of seeing bugs seems to you, this was the single most scary experience of my life so far, even in hindsight. After leaving my bathroom, I apparently made quite a racket in my house, which gained the attention of my parents and also my older sister. They could tell something was wrong with me because I was probably repeating the same action over and over. Anyway, I was driven to the hospital by my father. I don't remember anything past the shower. This is all my parents' recollection. The story continues the next day, which I can remember. I woke up lying in a hospital bed, looking at the ceiling, which appeared to be breathing in and out, whilst from an air vent it blew rainbow-colored bubbles out. My bad trip due to overdose had stopped, but I hadn't stopped tripping. After being in a hospital for about 3 days, I was eventually discharged. However, the consequences of the mistake of doing the drug didn't end there. I now have a form of delusional parasitosis and have to sleep with the lights on if I intend on getting any sleep at all. My advice to anyone considering NBOMes or a similar drug is don't do it. The high isn't worth the risk.